Hello YouTube, this is the start of round 3. We've got TRK versus Mawkzy on my stream. Hootie Hoo, Raziers, and Flakes. Raziers and Flakes playing to not be eliminated. Loser of that game is eliminated. Winner stays in the playoffs. TRK Mawkzy playing to see who makes it into the semifinals with a bye. Chat, here we go. The battle for Pool B. TRK and Mawkzy. The winner gets an guaranteed additional $600 over the loser by getting placed into the semifinals, as well as winning the pool and getting a bye. And I say 600, it's actually 700 because you get a $100 prize just for winning this pool play game as well. So $700 technically on the line for this game. And a lot of different games have similar stakes at hand. This has been a very high prize pool tournament as far as 1v1 goes. That was an interesting trade between TRK and Mawkzy. I did not expect it to be a trade, as they both were kind of parallel with each other and they turned into each other. TRK, look at this shot for a second goal. The wall to air dribble is the weapon of choice for TRK, and this is why he launches one in just under 100 km/h. Take a 2-goal lead. The last time these two played against each other was in the 1v1 World Cup on Johnny's stream, where Saudi Arabia dominated and was able to get the win against France. Mawkzy being that key player from France, trying to show that he has what it takes to hold it down for all of EU right now. Some people in chat were pointing out in between the matches that Saudi Arabia is now guaranteed to represent 4 players of the 6 that will make it to the playoffs. This is by all means an EU and MENA tournament, but MENA's here trying to make it exclusively a MENA tournament. If they're able to send Mawkzy down to the lower bracket, I believe they could make the top 4 be entirely Middle East. Also, this is right around lunchtime, and I haven't eaten today. I've noticed when I don't do that, words become hard to say. But I'm sure I'll clutch it up for the rest of the game, guaranteed. Mawkzy gets his first goal. TRK could never really undercut that ball. He wanted to get on top of his car, but never did, so Mawkzy able to take it away, but doesn't turn it in for anything. No boost steal, and TRK heading to a full field dribble. The attack of choice. Mawkzy falling from the ceiling to intercept. Was a good enough job. Prevents TRK from ever really getting a shot. And Mawkzy just got a little help from TRK on that save, as he chipped him towards the ball, but punished for approaching TRK as he collects the 100 and decides to try and play a bit closer. Crazy turn away from the net there, and TRK is trying to prove to him that that's the case. Exclamation point Factor, you should eat some of that sponsored food. That's true, I do have Factor meals that I've been eating recently. Mawkzy able to cut off this kickoff and shoot this past the defender falling off the back wall. Wall to air dribble for TRK. I have never seen somebody attack like he likes to in a long time. Daniel definitely loves this wall to air dribble game, but TRK is doing it to a level that has been unmatched by anybody, and not normally how you see the KSA 1v1ers play. In general, they're known for being such safe round attackers in 1v1. TRK can't do it all, but he's showing that he prefers to do it in the air here today. Mawkzy, a 3rd goal. Just a really quick catch. Puts so much speed behind the ball that TRK is not ready to adjust in time. Mawkzy, air dribble reset of his own. TRK meets him. stops before he can get any movement on the ball. TRK not going to take this setup, though. Does let it fall to the ground. Mawkzy convinces him to wave dash and chip the ball away, but gets demoed in the process. TRK bounce dribble at the midfield. Such a dangerous position for him, and he places it so well. This is such a scary bounce dribble. It's going to be hard for Mawkzy to get an angle on that save. Yeah, where I'm at, it is 12:30. So it is just past noon. Definitely lunchtime after this last round of the EU Fear Fest finale pool play. Don't forget, though, we have a second stream today as well. Right around my dinner time. 5 p.m. my time, but 7 p.m. Eastern time. Where we'll finish out Pool B for the North American portion of the tournament. I am in Arizona. Mawkzy, what a strong shot out of the corner. TRK able to find the post with it. Mawkzy launches another one, but he turned away from the bounce, which is very interesting. Although it actually ends up working out because he can then attack the corner much later when TRK is there to be demoed. But the respawn and recovery from TRK keeps Mawkzy from bringing it within 4. It is currently a blowout lead for TRK, up 8-3. TRK bounce dribble, fakes the hook shot at first and then tries to cut past Mawkzy, but Mawkzy is there. TRK was loving these full field dribbles in his matchup earlier. This one would be generous to call it full field as he falls far before midfield line. Mawkzy looking to flick right. TRK has that save. You gotta know Mawkzy's going to the opposite portion of the net now as he gets TRK to fall in and out of the net into the corner with no boost left to work with. As long as Mawkzy plays quickly and plays keep away, he should be able to get the 4th goal. 10:30 p.m. in the Middle East. Watching while having dinner or right after dinner. Hey, that's perfect. I'm glad. I thought it was a bit late for the Middle East players as it starts at 9 p.m. their time. But at the same time, I think most of these players play late into the night as well, so it might just be perfect peak time. Maybe that's why we see TRK and actually the rest of the Middle East guys playing so well. They all get to play at grinder hours as opposed to the tournaments that normally make them play probably a bit earlier than they're used to grinding, I would think. TRK slowly rolling one in, the 360 and then the 50 on the goal line. Yes, you can. I assume he's going to follow it up with a forfeit. There it is. All right, TRK, game number 1, 10-4, over and out. It is a win for TRK. Game number 2, we got TRK, a bit of a better server. Towards the end of that last one, I actually noticed he had around 104 or so, which is definitely a poor connection for TRK. But now, rocking 88 to 90. A much more standard connection to the EU servers that I'm used to seeing for the Middle East players. And Mawkzy will score first despite the improved connection. We need a 1v1 land bad. Yeah, I think we really do. We really, really do. I think right now, if we were able to get everybody in the Fear Fest on both regions side into a tournament, I mean, you need even more, actually. You just need more. I mean, if it's going to be a 1v1 LAN, I think there's a few more people who could contend, believe it or not. Currently, Jack being the obvious one, but there's probably even a bit more. TRK sniping Mawkzy on the recovery back to the blue half. Now he's got himself an air dribble setup. Reset outside the box. Second reset. 50. No! Mawkzy sends it away. off the post and gets the second goal as well. TRK, here's your reward for your impressive mechanical play. It's a deficit in the game. Nice save from Mawkzy. Just invite the top 100 players to a LAN. Yeah, that's easy. You know, it's interesting. I actually, you know, we're doing the Fear Fest LAN. I knew I, at some point, wanted to do a maximum prize pool tournament, and then courtesy of, oh, nice air dribble bump, courtesy of all the fans who followed this last month, they made the $15,000 max prize pool tournament happen now. And I thought about for a while doing a LAN. I thought $15,000, maybe I could reduce the prize pool and do a LAN, until I went and helped out with Turf Wars, and they gave me the kind of range that they needed to run Turf Wars, and I was like, oh, no, never mind. We'll just do a nice online $15,000 tournament. Mawkzy with control of the ball in a tie game, going back to his more standard flick left, but not with the power we're used to at all. Another take straight down the center of the field. He has transferred that power into the right flick, but he launched it to the absolute moon. And is he even going to be able to stay in possession? I don't think he is. TRK is shot and a third goal. Oh, yeah, I mean, there's no way I would have done it. Just to be clear, my LAN would have maybe been like 4 players, like something really small. Not 100. But I still don't think I would have had enough. Oh, by the way, Colin, am I reading that right? Colin Elbert, thank you for the Prime. You love the content. I love the 2 months of Prime. Mawkzy, back to his old ways, looking for the top left. TRK has that save, and Mawkzy maybe reacting to TRK approaching him there. As he tried to pop it early. He's back in control, though. Will he go once again to the top left? No, this time he lets TRK do the hard work of picking his shot for him. He says, TRK, whatever you do, I'll react. And TRK feels the need to get up to try and stop those flicks. How can you not? Be a low 50 in a tie game. Mawkzy bumping TRK on this kickoff to get a 4-3 lead. Wave dash kickoff. Noticed that the easiest path for him would be to send TRK away, even deeper into the orange half. Did they say Onyx makes a 1v1 RLCS real? They need to throw a party with Johnny. It'd be interesting if they ever would make a full-on official league. I think there's ways to integrate it more alongside 3v3 than they already do, without just making 1v1 RLCS, because right now the crossover between players is basically 100%. Mawkzy is like your exception. So I don't think we necessarily want a league where players have to decide between one or the other. Mawkzy should be earning himself a 5th goal here, as he pops this past TRK on the back wall. Another wave dash kickoff, another bump, and another goal. Wait, no, not another goal. It should have been. I imagine Mawkzy is shaking his head a little bit after that shot. In fact, now he's going to let TRK have another, as he gets back around the correct side of the ball and then turns for a sideways challenge. It's always going to be hard to win. TRK squeezing it out behind Mawkzy. Wave dash kickoff goes slightly differently, but still in favor of Mawkzy. Tries to just flick past TRK, and the 1-2 save and counterattack gives TRK the lead. It's been back and forth here in the recent minutes between these two. Just when Mawkzy seems like he might start taking control, TRK back on top. Oh, great kickoff win. It was a wave dash still from Mawkzy. It's not a goal, though. Both these guys missing some of the easier opportunities they'll ever give each other. Mawkzy trying to pop over the top of a reversing TRK. TRK is still there to make the high save, and now he's going to be forced off the ball. Mawkzy taking it down to a carry, and you'd think he'd threaten that flick top left, but he was trying to cash in on his efficiency with that and try and go low. This time TRK doesn't jump. He remembers how it went last time. TRK off the ball. Another carry for Mawkzy. Will he go top right? He does this time. TRK has the clear to the corner. Mawkzy prioritizing playing quickly, pops the ball, and doesn't really get anything out of it. He was expecting maybe TRK to attack earlier. 40 seconds left to go. Mawkzy's possession hasn't ended yet. Though he hasn't gotten the best of opportunities, all of them have resulted in him staying in control of the play. This might be the worst chance for him yet, as he's not able to connect with TRK. This pop probably isn't enough to prevent TRK taking into an air dribble. 20 seconds left to go. You'd expect TRK to play safe, so he doesn't use the reset early. Instead, he delays and plays the 50, but now it is a Mawkzy possession. One last chance for him. He wave dashes past the first catch and is forced into the early pop. He will be able to steal the corner boost. He tries to go for the tight angle. TRK is there. He knows he has to take an immediate shot, and TRK clears it away. Wow, that was actually close to bouncing. If that bounces one time, Mawkzy catches back up to it and has maybe one more 0 seconds chance, but instead TRK had it hit the ground at the exact perfect moment to take the 2-0 lead. Game number 3. TRK and Mawkzy. Chat was begging for ads because TRK said he needed 2 minutes. But me, the 5-head streamer, knew that TRK was very likely to say he was ready faster than the 2 minutes he said. So now you all get to watch the games. Aren't we happy? Certainly the games are better than the ads, right, chat? If you like the ads better than the games, type 1 in chat. If you like the games better than the ads, type 2. Certainly there's going to be more 2s, right? No, the ads are better. The ads are the better content. That's what you're saying. Oh, I see. Okay. All right, I'll put that into my content game plan for the future. The ads are the content. Oh, okay. Got it. Right now, the content is definitely TRK, that's for sure. Up 2-0 in this match against Mawkzy. Dropped a game against Flakes. Did he drop a game against Raziers? Chat, can you remind me? Or has he just been absolutely unstoppable? He did drop a game against Raziers. Okay, was it a 3-1? Okay, a 3-1 against Raziers and a 3-1 against Flakes. Trying to do it a bit cleaner here against his toughest opponent he's had to face in Mawkzy. Can he finish him off in a sweep? Mawkzy, that is not the first touch he wanted, I imagine. Normally you want much more bounce off of a setup and not just immediately kill it rolling at the net. And he was forced into a non-ideal shot. A kind of shot that is going to push Mawkzy's shot tally up on the scoreboard and TRK's save tally up, despite not really necessarily being a miraculous defensive play. Mawkzy is going to get a first goal. But we saw at the end of the previous game that TRK and Mawkzy had similar shots, but a racked up amount of saves for TRK. And while that is definitely credit to his defense, there's also plays like that last one before Mawkzy's goal where the shot is going to be counted as a save, but anybody who's watched these ones games knows it wasn't really a real shot. It wasn't really a save. That was never standing a chance of going in. TRK double resets. Mawkzy is forced to make a tough save. That was definitely a high quality shot from TRK. And now another high quality shot back the other way. He misses wide. Pass to himself off the back wall. Didn't have any boost to work with, but still got a pretty decently strong shot. Just not on target. TRK, will he try and bump Mawkzy here? No, decides to play the ball instead and actually ends up rolling it directly to Mawkzy. who cuts the ball back and says, let me get a second try at this. My first setup wasn't good enough. TRK doesn't want to allow the second try, but ultimately does as he backs away. Mawkzy scared of that early challenge from TRK. And that's the kind of defense that is great defense and will not be credited as a save. What a shot from TRK. The reset wave dash pushes his car to the opposite side of the ball in order to chip it towards that near post. What a shot. But also, it all started with great defense in the midfield. That fake challenge got Mawkzy to take a poor start to his possession. TRK able to turn it around for a goal of his own. TRK off the side wall, reset, far away from the net. Ends up slamming it off the back wall, and that is an own goal. So Mawkzy will tie it right back up. Credit to Mawkzy for bailing out of the play when recognizing that TRK was missing. Because I say that's an own goal. Obviously, it isn't an own goal. TRK didn't actually hit it in his own net. But if you miss as wide as he does, and the big and is if the defender is able to bail on the save fast enough, whether that means they stayed grounded through the whole thing or they recognize you're missing and they flip back down to the ground quickly, then it becomes an own goal because that defender will have the faster recovery. It is possible for it not to be an own goal, and how that happens is if the defender is convinced that you're taking a really strong shot. This is a great save, by the way, for TRK. This is not one of those situations where the ball was just rolled at net. That is a tough flick to save. Mawkzy puts a lot of power on that. And not only does TRK save it, he also recovers quickly in and out of the net and has the counterattack for the 3-2 lead. Mawkzy, who sees the close shadow from TRK. You know, it's just a interesting thing to think about how all the best defense in 1v1 usually happens nowhere near the net. All these saves, like Mawkzy just got credited for there, that wasn't a spectacular defensive sequence. Where the real defense is played, it's usually long before the shot actually comes. TRK off the ceiling, ends up not doing much with it, rolls it slowly at Mawkzy. His plan is to get Mawkzy to chip it back out to him and not be able to cover the continuation, but TRK did. Mawkzy missing off the post, and see, not an own goal. Wait, it is an own goal. It is an own goal. I was about to say it's not an own goal because TRK commit to the save a bit too much, but I was wrong. It was a real own goal, a vanilla own goal, where you actually slam the ball in your own net. Mawkzy, needing offense bad, instead gives TRK one. Mawkzy bumping TRK off the ball. He needs this shot to be effective, and it is exactly that. Mawkzy threatening that left side of the net as he chips the ball. TRK feeling the need to jump and start to cover everything, but instead it goes right. .30 seconds left to go. Mawkzy wave dash kickoff, back to the ball quickly. A decent position for him, and the early flick pays off. TRK wanted to cut off the options early, decides to grab boost and turn immediately back towards the ball, but that plays right into Mawkzy's hands, who was flicking as soon as he took possession. Now it's all of a sudden TRK who needs to find a bit of momentum, and this might be the answer. A 50 continuation after the kickoff, and just like that, he's back in control of the game. Mawkzy side flipping far past the play. Mawkzy in control of this kickoff. Will he take a wall to air dribble? Not likely. He's not one to go to that when he needs a goal. He's likely one to go to his left flick, which I think is what he's about to set up, but TRK hides behind the ball and stops it before it gets going. Mawkzy, no way, he grabs his boost and keeps the ball up. There is a way. TRK tried to stay right on top of him. Mawkzy carries it to the net. 5-5. It'll be overtime in game number 3. TRK decided all I need to do is get up and touch this ball to end the game, but Mawkzy is quicker. He got the read so fast despite not having ball cam on and picking up that midfield. Can he turn it in for a game win, or will it just be TRK securing the sweep in overtime? Mawkzy demos TRK and his touch over the top of the net, so space and time for Mawkzy now. Can he do it again? Will he go back to all reliable, that flick to the left? No, he loses control immediately on his single jump. The ball falling too far in front of the play. Mawkzy, not a great setup. Or I should say a perfect setup for TRK. Not a good setup for himself, but he hops away from TRK. Takes back to the blue half. Touch in the corner, looking for a demo. TRK avoids it. Can he turn this in for a goal? He's going to try to. But Mawkzy, no! Mawkzy! He absolutely could have this save. He tries to control it off the post, and he just puts it in the net. It's a GG's from both these guys. Tough finish for Mawkzy and the French fans, but TRK with the sweep to take the pool.